Hey everybody, it's Charlie, the Pennsylvania grain farmer, coming to you from edge of one of my fields here in sunny western Pennsylvania. It's Friday, June the 17th, and my plan for right now is to go out and mow my first field of hay. I'm not going to mow a lot because generally for the first time I bale in a year, I always keep the amount down just to make sure that everything's going to work since I'm dealing with old equipment. But I am going to mow about 3 acres, and we'll go from there. Now this is Friday. Normally if I'd cut this hay today, this time of year I'd bale it on Sunday, but my wife wants to go to camp this weekend, so what I'm going to probably do is mow it today, get up early tomorrow before we go and run the tedder over it, and then let it dry the rest of Saturday and Sunday, and then my plan will be to bale it on Monday. But this is my rig for mowing. I wanted to show you this. The tractor is not my friend's 1550, which I've often used in some of the activities in my videos, but this is our own 1550. And the mower that I'm using is a Massey Ferguson 725 Haybine that I bought, obviously used back in, I believe it was 2012, back when the corn was something like $9 a bushel, and many of you might remember that year. I was able to make enough money that I could update a lot of my hay equipment, including this used Haybine, that new idea hay rake, which I'll go over in another video, and a brand new tedder, which you see sitting over beside that. But anyway, this Massey Ferguson Haybine I got out in the eastern part of the state. I was looking for something because what I had been using was the old conditioner that my dad had bought back in the late 60s or early 70s, and it was a good machine, but it was hard keeping those knives sharp and doing a really nice job of cutting, and it was getting older, and I wanted to use it primarily for straw so that I wouldn't beat up a good machine mowing oat stubble down. So I started to look for a Haybine, and I was online, and I happened to see this one down in the eastern part of the state, and I called and asked for the it's a place that deals in used tractors and equipment, and asked them several questions and things I wanted checked and pictures taken and things to report back, and the guy got back to me with the information and seemed pretty honest, and I went ahead and bought it, and they delivered it, and so far so good. It's been a pretty good machine. It's a 7-foot cut. It'd be nice if it was a little bit wider, but for all the more I do, which is right now about 12 to 15 acres a year of Timothy hay for my horse customers, this machine is big enough. But it's got, I don't know if you can see them underneath there, but it's got the little snub guards, which if you haven't ever tried them, they're really nice for when you're down to just a narrow strip of hay left to cut, narrower than the machine itself. And a lot of times when you go in with those normal guards, the hay catches on them and balls up and everything, where with these snub guards, no matter how narrow your strip of hay and how much previously cut hay you're running over, it really doesn't tend to catch on these. So I do recommend them. Okay, and yeah, the machine's in pretty good shape. I just put a new hydraulic cylinder on it because my old one was all beat out here to the point where that hole was so worn that the machine was sitting like this, and I couldn't even raise it all the way up because there was too much play. But it's a good old honest Haybine. So I'm going to head out to the field now, and we'll capture some video out there. So we'll see you in a few minutes. All right, well, that's the first field of hay cut for 2022. A nice field of Timothy. I have to say it took me a while. In some cases I had to go in low gear because this hay was so thick. And I don't mean to complain about that, but so tall and so thick that when the hay was going into the haybine, it would kind of fold up and ball up in between the reel and the rolls and get caught and plug the machine up. And oh my God, I had to stop I don't know how many times and clean it out. And I typically don't have that problem, but I fertilized this hay with urea, 100 pounds per acre, and man, did that make a difference. But the old 725 got it done. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but this Haybine, the Massey Ferguson 725, was made in the early 80s. They made another one at the same time. It was a 925. The 725 was a 7-foot cut, and the 925 obviously was a 9-foot cut, and that was the primary difference. So in any event, first field is done, and tomorrow I'll be running the tedder over this field, and I'll try to get some video of that to put up in a separate video. So for now, this is Charlie, the Pennsylvania grain farmer, saying see you next time.